Welcome, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing? My blanket is stuck under my chair. Oh no, it's like ripping. Oops. Let's see who's here. Feel free to hop in and say hello. Let us know how you're doing. We are here today to talk what's coming up this week in astrology, and then we're going to pull some oracle cards to see how to utilize what's coming up this week in astrology. So if this is your first time with me, my name is Jacqui Mancuso, and that's what we're doing. So that's who I am. That's what we're doing. Who are you? Where are you from? I'm from the Midwest. Becca says, hi, Jacqui. Thanks for your message. You're welcome. Took me a few days to get back to you, but I always get back. Good morning, Misty. Levi says, hello. Feeling peaceful and safe. Well, isn't that lovely? A whole bunch of root chakra stuff came up for me yesterday. It was so interesting. And I might be talking about that, not here today, but later today, I might finally have that YouTube live with my astrologer friend, Max. We might hop on YouTube live this afternoon at like 2-ish Central Time to talk about, he's been going through root chakra stuff. I started doing root chakra stuff, and the safety made me think about that. Hi, Jen. She says, hi, Jacqui. Happy morning. Andrea, morning. April, hi there. I will send Insight a note. When your live time comes, it drops off the Insight Live Now format. What an interesting observation, April. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you coming in clutch for me that way. Good morning, Nicole. Lisa says, hi, everyone. Lots coming up for me right now. Feeling unsettled. Thinking having a cold is heightening emotions. Mimi says, hi. Of course, having a cold is going to heighten emotions because they are coming up to come out. Anytime that you're expelling something from your body, such as mucus, or if you get sick in other ways and stuff needs to purge out of your body, of course, it's going to come up because it's trying to come out. So just, and I know obviously like having a cold makes you feel like garbage, so that's not going to make it any easier either. Christine says, happy Wednesday, Jacqui and friends. Daphne says, good morning from New York City. Awesome, the gang's all here. Shall we get into our astrology for the week? So today is Wednesday, December 11th, and I made my window huge on accident. We're going to talk about the astrology from today, December 11th, until next Tuesday, December 17th. So we have a few things that we're going to talk about. We have a Mars-Venus opposition. We're going to talk about Mercury stationing direct, finally ending his retrograde. And we'll talk about the Gemini Full Moon that happens on Sunday. Hello, Elena. Nice to see you. So kicking off this week of astrology, Mars, who just stationed retrograde on the 6th, which was last Friday, Mars is going to oppose Venus in Aquarius at 5 degrees. This happens tomorrow, so they're closing in on that opposition now. So we will have Mars in Leo, who just began his 2.5-month retrograde, and he's just getting comfortable with slowing down, turning his creativity inward. Remember last week, we discussed how this might be a time to be creative for you, to follow your heart and to create what you are inspired to create and to express without any desire for external validation. Okay, so that's still the theme of Mars retrograde in Leo until early January before he moves back into Cancer. But now this Mars in Leo retrograde is receiving an opposition from Venus, who recently entered Aquarius on Saturday. So Venus in Aquarius places a lot of value on her community. Venus in Aquarius places value on creative, innovative solutions to move society into the future. So we might feel a little bit of imbalance while Mars retrograde is trying to get you to create for your own enjoyment. And Venus in Aquarius is saying, but the community matters, that your society matters, your collective matters. So the energy that I'm feeling with this opposition is that Venus wants you to come back to your why. Why do you create what you create? Why do you express how you express? Who are you hoping it will reach? Who are you hoping that it will inspire? And this was bringing up an interesting dichotomy within me as I was typing my notes that I want to break down for you guys, because this Venus-Mars opposition, I believe you can use it in one of two ways. The first way would be to gather info on your people, your audience, right? Who am I creating this for? Why am I expressing? Why am I creating this? So the first way would be to gather information on them, do your market research, and try to match them, whoever you're trying to inspire with your creations. Creating something to inspire them. The second way to use this opposition would be to simply express yourself, your unique voice, how it wants to come out of you, share the love the way that you are wired to, and that will attract those who meet your vibration to you. So this may be a time right now to reevaluate which path you're following. Am I creating this thing to be good enough for these people, to serve these people? Or am I creating because this is what wants to come out of me and my people will find me? And I love giving you guys practical examples. So let's use the upcoming holidays as a practical example for this. So an example of creating to match your tribe, creating to provide for the market research that you've already done. An example of that would be knowing that Mom, Grandpa, and Uncle Bob just love my oatmeal cookies. So I'm going to make oatmeal cookies for Christmas this year. However, the other way, expressing yourself and attracting your tribe to you would look like deciding in that moment what you are most excited to create to add to your celebration. Create it with love because you are excited about it, and then share it, having no attachment to if it's being received well or not. Because you're not making this for them, you're making it for you. And some people will vibe with it and others won't, and that's fine. Does that second example seem inconsiderate to you? Like, are your virtues going, is your virtue alarm going off right now? Well, you didn't please Uncle Bob and Grandma and Mom, and now they're going to be so upset because your oatmeal cookies aren't there. Because I'd like to use this whole silly baking holiday example as an example of the downside of people pleasing. Right? What, are you afraid that they're going to say, how dare you didn't bring the oatmeal cookies that everyone loves? We're all waiting on those oatmeal cookies. Well, how would they have known how much they actually love lemon bars that are made from true heartfelt energy and love, right? I had a wonderful time making these lemon bars and some of you guys like them. So that's a win-win, right? We're both happy. I'm not draining myself so that you are happy. Do you guys see the bigger message here? I'm using this small example, but it can be applied to people pleasing at a larger scale. So I'll let you play with that on your own. Why are you creating what you're creating? Why are you expressing what you are expressing? Are you trying to please someone, or are you doing it because it's what you want to do? Alicia, oatmeal cookie it is. But, so this Venus-Mars opposition, that's what that example came from. This Venus-Mars opposition is asking you which came first, the chicken or the egg? Just kidding. Which came first? The external expectation that you're trying to meet, or your own inspired creativity? And this is going to apply to more than your Christmas gatherings. And this is going to apply for the rest of this week. So this will be on the top of our mind for the rest of this week. Misty says, I 100% get that. Definitely understand the example of creating less joy in the experience. Yes. Yes. Christine, how about if we're doing both, pleasing ourselves and the creative process and others? Wonderful. I might be throwing my bias out there because of what I would do or what I'm trying to teach myself to do, right? Obviously, there are still things that I do because I want to make the other person happy. I enjoy seeing the joy in other people, so I'm going to do what I know will make them happy, right? I guess that can get you in trouble because what if they're not in the mood to be happy for receiving that thing, right? But whatever works for you is what's going to work for you. I'm not trying to convince you guys that my way is right. I'm just sharing from my lens. So on top of that Venus-Mars opposition, for the rest of the week as well, Mars and Mercury are hanging out in a trine. Mercury is retrograde, and he's slowing down to station direct. So Mercury is at 6 degrees of Sagittarius, and Mars retrograde is at 5 degrees of Leo. So it's not an exact trine, but it's close enough. This feels like a passing of the torch energy. Mercury is about to complete his retrograde, and Mars is just beginning his. So this to me feels like Mercury is expressing to Mars whatever Mercury has gathered since November 25th, when his retrograde began. Mercury is sharing the truth with the capital T with Mars in hopes that Mars will find inner inspiration based on universal truth, based on energetic laws that don't fluctuate with feelings and opinions. So an example of a universal law, universal truth that Mercury is passing off to Mars, something along the lines of nothing is good or bad, everything just is, or a universal truth that life is cyclical, nothing is permanent, right? These are things that you can't change because you're sad about it. So this trine between Mercury and Mars retrograde is actually a grand trine, which involves the North Node, who's at 3 degrees of Aries. And this brings the individual more into play. The North Node in Aries is almost done with his time in Aries. The North Node shows us the collective destiny. Wherever the North Node is moving, this is where the collective is being advised to head. So the collective destiny since summer of 2023, the collective was being advised and influenced by the planets to focus on our sense of selves, to overcome feeling selfish for engaging in self-care, for getting your own needs met. So this grand trine, Mercury, Mars, North Node, all in the fire signs, this represents a timely need to get your own needs met based on what you have discovered about universal truth over the last 3 weeks, and to express yourself, Mars retrograde, in an authentic way that's inspired by your own creative impulse. So this week, this is a very, very deep time of going within and focusing on yourself, your wants, your needs, your desires. Because in January, when the North Node dips into Pisces for the upcoming 18 months, then our collective destiny will be to dissolve the boundaries, to melt into the soup of the collective consciousness. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. And if you want to be the most effective when that happens, you've got to know where you stand so that you can remain grounded as we all dissolve into this ocean of collective together. I'll spend more time on that as it approaches. But I want to focus on the North Node ending its time in Aries. We've had such a long time to get clear on ourselves, our wants, our desires. We're here with an opportunity to learn that it's not selfish to care for yourself. What have you learned? What have you learned? This grand trine this week is asking you to look within and sit with yourself. Then we have our Gemini full moon on Sunday the 15th. The full moon peaks at 3:02 a.m. Central Time, and the full moon will happen at 23 degrees of Gemini. A full moon in Gemini has the sun in Sagittarius shining a light on truth with a capital truth. So the sun in Sagittarius is opposing the moon in Gemini, asking us to let go of our smaller mindsets, our perceptions, our personal opinions. This full moon is happening near Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. Jupiter has been retrograde in Gemini since the beginning of October, and Jupiter retrograde has been helping us find our inner truth. Jupiter retrograde has been helping us calibrate our inner compass to align with what we truly believe to be true, to align with what truly resonates deep within, deeper than a mental level. And this full moon happens right in the middle of Jupiter's retrograde. He's been retrograde for about 2 months. He's got about 2 months left to go. So this to me feels like an invitation to clear away a perception that no longer resonates with the inner truth that you found. And I'd like to mention that whatever is coming up, as I keep saying, inner truth, inner compass, inner whatever, this might make you feel like an outsider. It might be something that you have discovered, but you feel like if you speak up about it, you're going to be combated by some of the Agent Smiths around you. Did you guys see The Matrix? Anytime Neo was like seeing through the Matrix, seeing through the facade, there was an Agent Smith right there to come and brainwash him back into the Matrix. So this inner truth that I keep repeating, it can come as a feeling that something is off. Something that's widely accepted just doesn't feel right to you. It just doesn't sit right with you. And going against the herd takes courage. If the whole narrative is that this person is the bad guy, or this scary event needs your donations right now, but there's a bit within you that's like, yeah, that doesn't really resonate with me. It can be scary to stand your ground on that out of fear of rejection, right? Going against the herd, being seen as an outcast. But that's your truth. That's your inner compass sounding an alarm, and that's your intuition trying to guide you. It's usually the people who see the capital T truth first who are labeled as crazy, so that the rest of the herd doesn't start to listen and find their own inner truth, because that would dismantle the systems of control that are in place. So this is true Sagittarius energy, which is strong right now. The sun is in Sag, Mercury is in Sag, the full moon's happening with Jupiter, who rules Sagittarius. Sagittarius energy says, take my leash off, get me out of these chains, let me roam, let me figure out what's actually true. Don't limit me to your path. I want to explore over here. Let me read the banned books and learn for myself. Let me watch the fake news and see what resonates with me. Let me investigate this misinformation and see how it sits within me. In this full moon on Sunday, this is an opportunity to allow some deeper truths to sink deep into your soul, so deeply that you have no space for old beliefs. They're going to get pushed out based on how big this inner truth is. And this partners with Mercury's retrograde coming to an end. So on Sunday afternoon, Mercury stations direct between 2 and 3 o'clock Central Time in the afternoon. And Mercury is stationing direct at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. This signals the time to outwardly share your truth. Put it to the test. Try it out. Because if it's actually true, it won't mind being questioned. Only lies require your blind trust. Truth loves a debate. Truth loves emotional outbursts. Because it's truth. It is. Truth is the stable pillar that holds the space for the emotional waves to come hit it. Mercury stationing direct is a time for you to test out your newfound truth out there with the other people. And this can be done in many different ways. Some of you like to confront and to you might bring up these new opinions with multiple people and see how they react, gauge their reaction as a way to test your truth. Some of you might do this a little bit more covertly, and you might look for others who are already talking about what you're thinking about as a way to bounce off and see, does this really resonate with me? Does this still hold true now that it's out there, right? There's a ton of, quote, misinformation on the internet. And I'm not saying that it's all true, but I'm saying fuck around and find out. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of being brainwashed by one article that disagrees with the thousands of news outlets that have all been saying the exact same message, putting it into your brain? I'm saying that this is time for you to trust yourself and figure out what's true with your inner compass and play with it for some time. Mercury's shadow will end when Mercury reaches 22 degrees of Sagittarius, which happens on January 2nd. So this might signal your timeline of when you might feel more solid in your new sense of truth. But you've got to look behind the curtain every once in a while. And I can promise you guys that the world isn't scary. Reality isn't scary. But fear is just a really, really easy way to control people. There's nothing to be afraid of. Before I recap this week, here's the reminder for our watch party that's coming up on Monday, which totally aligns with everything astrologically. And I didn't even plan it that way. The universe just aligned this for us. So on Monday, the 16th, this upcoming Monday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, I'll be streaming the Thrive documentary on my YouTube channel. And anyone can join us, watch for free with us, and engage in a live chat. The Thrive documentary talks about the free energy that has been available to us, and the host gives his theory on why we haven't been allowed to use it. Then after we watch the documentary, I'm hosting a Zoom call to answer any of your questions that might come up during the documentary. There's a sliding donation scale from $11 to $33 to join the Zoom discussion, the after party. But I want to offer this support as a calming force as you may be waking up to some new truths, trying them on for size. And I want to act as the soothing friend who's there to rub your back as you wake up from the nightmare. Because some of this stuff, if you haven't heard it before, it might be a little like, what the fuck? Those links are in my link tree. You can find it in my Insight Timer bio. But just a reminder, this is happening on Monday the 16th. Documentary is at 5:30 p.m. Central. And then the Zoom call will start around 8 o'clock. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the Zoom call Q&A afterwards. I know a lot of my people are across the pond, and this is late for you. It's like into the next day even. And I don't want to promise that it's going to be available, but I want you to know that I've heard your concerns and I'll play it by ear. And this is also a good time to let anyone coming to my Zoom meeting know that there's a chance that this conversation will be utilized in the future. It will be recorded. So feel free to use an alias, use a filter if you want, or whatever it is, truth, it's fine. So I'm really excited. I love truth. I love truth. I think I get so excited about Sagittarius energy, guys, because my midheaven, the public standing in your chart, mine is at 1 degree of Sag. So it's like you just came out of this deep Scorpio shadow work and you're like, oh my God, everyone has to see this. This is so true. That's the role that I serve here, is to help you guys head back to your truth. I got my truth. You have your truth. I honor that. So let's recap this week and then we'll pull some oracle cards. So this week we have our Venus-Mars opposition, and it's asking you which came first, the external expectation that you're trying to meet or your own inspired creativity. Then we have the Fire Grand Trine, Mars retrograde, Mercury retrograde, North Node. The Fire Grand Trine is asking you to look within yourself and to sit with yourself inside. Who am I? What do I believe? What do I want to express? What do I want? And then this Sunday's full moon is an opportunity to allow some deeper truth to sink into your soul so deeply, so large, that it pushes out your old beliefs. Let's see what you guys are talking about in the comments, and then we will transition to some oracle cards. Debbie says this week has been emotional. Yeah, same. I was crying the last couple, no, not yesterday, Monday night. I had a rough Monday night that was triggered from me looking for a place to go for dinner. You know, like sometimes stuff just gets you. Hannah says, my inner truth has been opposing the collective beliefs a lot lately. Walk around and find out. Play with it. Play with it, because there are people who share a similar truth to you. Even if the majority doesn't, or if it seems like the majority doesn't, because the loudest voice, those with the most money, don't agree with you, it doesn't mean that you're alone. Jen says, my natal moon and Jupiter are in Sagittarius. Could that be why I'm feeling this so strongly? 100%. Especially with the sun transiting through Sag, it's hitting all of your Sag placements. So whoever has Sagittarius placements. Kristen says this resonates a lot. She's a Gemini moon. Lisa, perfect timing. Today's Insight Timer quote is, intuition is the whisper of the soul. Yeah. Hannah watched that documentary a long time ago. Come hang out with us if you want. Rewatch it. I watched it a few years ago, and then I rewatched it like last week or two. I don't even remember when it was. I rewatched it recently, and I was like, it's time. It's another wave of time to wake up. Misty, that happens to me all the time. I'll either do something or plan something and find out later that it was exactly what the universe... Yeah. It's how you started developing your intuition. That's great. April, that time of morning will be semi-late night. Not that late in Europe. Over here. Cool. Lisa, my midheaven is in Sag too. I've not really looked into the MC. I see MC public self. I see private self. Sophia's been feeling foggy and confused, which brought her to meditate a lot more. I went from 15 to 60 minutes daily in the last 2 weeks. That sounds like winter and retrograde energy for sure. Kuzi, did Buddha used to meditate for hours on end? I haven't really studied the Buddha. Hi, Trina. Sophia, today I've got this feeling my systems are being prepared to receive a great download, which really fits the full moon theme. I love it. Let's see how we can prime your download incoming. So we're going to use the Talisman Oracle. And what I want to ask this first deck is to describe the truths coming online this week. We got a lot of opportunity to sink into truth. So Talisman Oracle, please describe the truths that are coming online this week for everybody here. These are always group readings. So feel free to send your energy into this deck and ask it to show you the truths that are coming online for you this week. Daphne says, yeah, the documentary Thrive, it was made in 2011. They recently made a Thrive 2. I believe that was in like 2020. And I will be doing the same type of watch party for Thrive 2. That will be on January 3rd. Same time and everything. And just because it's old doesn't mean it doesn't matter. It's a lot of information still that not everyone is privy to, for sure. So it's old. You have to love the 90s graphics. Yeah, the editing is real fun. So we're asking, which truths, describe the truths that are coming online this week for anyone watching this card reading. So the way that I do my group readings is that I'll allow 3 cards to fall out of the deck, and these are going to be applicable to everybody here. All 3 cards are applicable for everybody here. I think those were... What's up, Piston? Piston's down here cuddling with my big selenite. He loves doing that. Oh, there's just 2. We need 1 more card. So all 3 of these cards that come out describe what's going on in you. However, sometimes 1 or 2 of the messages might resonate more strongly. So I'll show you the backs of all the cards so that you can use your intuition to see if anything feels different. And sometimes things in your physical environment will trigger your intuition, right? So if I hold up a certain card and then like someone opens the door, or your phone rings, or your house creaks, those are also signs for your intuition coming from the universe, coming from the universe. Sweet. That message, that whatever is triggered, that might be a little bit stronger for you personally. If you don't feel any change with anything, it doesn't mean that your intuition's broken. It just means that this whole reading is equally important for... I forgot what I was saying because I started reading a comment. You guys know the drill. We do the same thing every day. All right, so describe the truths coming online this week. And I'm going to do my best to not even look at these cards because I don't want to know either. I want to be just as surprised as you guys. So actually, I'm going to close my eyes. Here's the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. So let us know in the chat which cards are resonating with you. I'm going to take a sip of broth and I'll show you guys the cards one more time. Once more, the back of card number 1. The back of card number 2. And the back of card number 3. They're face down in front of me. Usually, like when I show you guys the cards, I can see it out of my peripheral. And while I don't have all my oracle cards memorized, I at least like get the feel for what's to come. I am going to be totally surprised with you guys today, and I'm excited. I don't ever do this. I don't know why I feel like doing this today. I don't want to influence your decision, but for me, there's something about card number 2 that I haven't been able to grasp yet. Because both times I reached for card 2, I had to like fumble around before I could grab it. Yeah, I'm going to say that out loud. And then who knows? All right, so which truths are coming online for you guys? Trina, all 3. Jen, 2. Nicole, 2. Melinda, 1. Hannah, 3. Nisa, 2. Alan, 3. Sandra, 2. Kelly, 1 and 3. April, 2. Allison, 2. Christine, all. Misty, 1. Nicole, 3. Ning, 2. Kelly, 1 and 3. Allie, 2 and 3. Lisa, 2 and 3 felt like a restriction in the chest and throat, heart and speech. Mimi, 2, I heard a sound from my fridge. Daphne, 3. Becca, 3. Jen, restriction in my chest with 2 more, but 3 as well. Okay, Jen and Lisa, you guys on the same wavelength here? And Mimi, 2, a sound from your fridge. Well, you would hear a sound from your fridge when it starts to cool. So maybe you need to cool it on something. Who knows? And yes, guys, intuition is literally that literal. Intuition can be that literal. If you have stomach pain, it's because you can't stomach something. If you have back pain, it's because you don't feel support. If your body tells you something, restriction in my chest, okay, well, without these truths, what is restricting your heart? The first truth coming online this week, this is union. Union. And there's a glare. I'm doing my best, guys. This card represents unity, wholeness, and fulfillment. Harmony can arise from forces that haven't been seen as opposite. And let me reread that because that didn't come out right. Harmony can arise from forces that can be seen as opposite, yet they are interconnected and they work to complement each other. This card can represent friendship, teamwork, or partnership. It's not essential to master every talent, skill, or knowledge because our unity with like-minded people can bring the best end results. This card teaches us to trust others in their area of expertise. The heavy weight of responsibility can be divided, and the celebration of success is much sweeter when it's shared. Use this card to strengthen the bond in a friendship or partnership. Though rhinos sometimes live in solitude, they form crashes that are crucial to the group's survival and beneficial to the individual members. Channel the union's strength and energy created by envisioning holding hands with your team or standing strong together as an indestructible crash. The affirmation for this union card, we are stronger together. If you guys are familiar with the tarot, what was coming up for me with this card is the Five of Wands energy. And this is the same, like the rhino clashing, the rams clashing. It's that energy of going head to head with someone who's different than you, but not in a way to break them down and like hope that they fail, but in a way to boost your own strength and also offer them an opportunity to boost their own strength, right? Engaging in a clash for the benefit of both. Does that make sense? I feel like there's so much deeper meaning to that, and I'm just waiting for the words to come. So the same as engaging with someone who sees life completely different from you, what if they didn't have to be your enemy? What if they could be the stepping stone that helps you stand more in your own power? Because by going head to head with them, not in a hatred way, but in a healthy debate way, right? Oh, you see life this way? Well, I see life this way. Why do you see it this way? This is why I see it this way. Interesting. What can I learn from you because you're so different than me? Instead of, oh my gosh, you're different. You're threatening my security, because that's BS. That's BS. Like forging each other through the fire. I like that, Trina. So describe the truths coming online this week is that people opposite from you are not your enemy. And they're not your enemy. They're your support system. They help you get firm on who you are because they're showing you what you don't align with. And that's awesome. That's beautiful. Thank you for showing me what I don't align with. Now I have more freedom to explore what I do align with. Interesting. Sophia loves the part of trusting others with their area of expertise. I tend not to. Yeah, if you're in this, like I can relate to this, where you feel like everything is on your shoulders and you got to do everything. That's poppycock. That is a blocked root chakra. Let me tell you that. You don't feel safe and supported. If you feel like you have to wear all the hats, you have to spin all the plates, you're diminishing the power that comes from you doing what your expertise is and allowing the people around you to do what their expertise is to run their show, to help you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Misty says that hits home. My partner just got put in jail for something he had nothing to do with. So we are dealing with standing together to get the truth out. Best of luck, Misty. Honestly, things that happen during Mercury retrograde, which is this, like decisions that are made, they're less stable than when Mercury is direct. So I'll just say that. We only had a month till he was coming home from the halfway house. This is, opposition going against you versus the system. That's what I feel. That's what Rebel Jacqui feels. You versus the system. So it's not here to tear you down and screw you over. It might feel like it, but it's here to help you, help the truth come out. The opposition helps the truth come out. Because there's always two versions of the story, and the truth is somewhere in the middle, you know? What other truth is coming online this week? Cool. It's the next card in the deck. So I didn't even have to flip the page. This is the one that was hard for me to grasp, remember? Card number 2, truth coming online this week, is willpower. It's time to channel your willpower through fierce dedication. You have set your objectives, and by applying discipline, commitment, and courage, you will achieve your goals. At times, your target may seem too far away, or people might try to convince you to adjust your expectations. But you alone know the power that you hold within. Stay confident in your abilities and focus on the next step in front of you. The dominant presence of the bull is helping you through the tests of your strength and resilience. Oh, like that rhino card. The victory is within reach. Use this card to strengthen your willpower. Sometimes stress and unpleasant circumstances can drain our energy. And in those moments, we need a little help to see our inner power. Withdraw to a quiet and personal space and focus on the bull on this card. The crown hangs heavy and yet majestic. Whisper your goal out loud and stay strong. And the affirmation for this card is, I persevere. So the truth that is coming online this week is your ability to hold true to whatever it is that resonates within your heart, right? So I'm going to take this real wide, because this is saying to hold true to what your end goal is and focus on the one step in front of you. So this is never something that I've like defined, but I'm trying to give a personal example to relate it with you all. So my end goal, so my inner truth is that I know every single human being on this planet is made of love. Every single human on this planet is capable of being a good humanitarian person, and people just act like shitheads because there's too much oppression on them. That's my belief, right? I believe that everyone is good. So how am I, right? That's such a tall order. How am I going to make the world see that everyone's good? And how am I going to ensure that everyone acts good? I can't do that. But what I can do one step in front of me is I can sit here on Insight Timer and speak wisdom and let you guys figure it out for yourself. That's what I could do. I'm holding on to my truth. I know the world is good. I know humans are good. And it's not about seeing the whole goal. How am I going to accomplish this world peace tomorrow? I can't. And that's okay. But what can I do? Well, I can share my opinion on this and see who it resonates with. And I can do this. And who does that resonate with? So what truth is it that you see on a grand scale? What is so big that you want to see happen? It's not here yet, and that's okay. But what's your next step? And the more you focus on your grand vision, knowing that these little tiny steps are making a difference, that's how you make so much progress. One tiny step a day, and then in a year, you've made 365, sometimes 366 steps. But if you sit here with this grand vision and you're like, well, it's just me, I can't do anything, these people don't agree with me, these people are doing the opposite of what I'm doing, you've made 0 steps. So yeah, what did it say about the Union card? Stay confident. Where did it go? The dominant presence of the bull is helping you through the tests of your strength and resilience. So when you do come into opposition with people who are different than you, they're not here to take away what your willpower is guiding you towards. They're not here to take it away. They're here to strengthen it. Trina, bullseye. I love that truth, Jacqui. Trina lives with 3 Taurus men, husband, father, and son. Yeah, Taurus is very stubborn. Hi, I understand that. Allison, yes, holding true. See you, Daphne. Thanks for coming. Lisa, this resonates with my feeling of restriction in heart and throat. Taurus rules the throat. I'm a Taurus sun. I'm definitely feeling drained right now and need to have the willpower because I know exactly what I need to do. I mean, Taurus is here for dedication. Assume positive intent, Trina. Exactly. Ning, great example. Thank you for that clarification. You're welcome. I love sharing. And I especially love when I hear that it helps you guys. Misty, yes, the truth will come out. Hannah, my next step is to believe in myself even when others don't. Isn't that great? That feels so good. It feels so good. I forgot how the alphabet works. Yeah, I definitely forgot how the alphabet works. Okay. Who else is here? Jen said, Lisa, I know exactly what I can't do and what I can't control. Power dynamics in my opposition. The best next step isn't completely clear yet. Think smaller. Next steps can be small. Next steps can be having a conversation. Next steps can be sharing a photo on the internet that resonates with you, right? Like the ripple effect. Even if your next step impacts one person, you have no idea what that one person can do. You know, just because you can't change the world in one step doesn't mean it can't happen. I don't know. Just go. And if it really is aligned with your inner truth, you won't run out of willpower because that's what you're designed to spread. Trina, thank you so kindly for your donation. I appreciate it. If anyone is resonating with this reading and you would like to offer an exchange of energy in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated. I will give you guys a book dive either from the first deck or from the second deck that I'm keeping a secret still. Book dive means I get your energy, I open the book, I put my finger down, and then I give you a couple sentences that are meant just for you today. So those are my thank yous for anyone who sends donations. Much appreciated. Misty, sing it. Planning my next step is a step for me. Yes, Allison, are you moving in the right direction? Just be cautious of analysis paralysis. Just saying. Jen says small steps is a theme in a lot of my readings right now. Let's see what other truth is coming online this week. Card number 3, finding love. A pure conscious connection is awaiting you. This card doesn't always represent instant chemistry in an intimate relationship. It could also represent a nourishing platonic bond based on honesty and mutual appreciation. As this card also means finding your true soulmate, be on the lookout as serendipity can bring an inevitable shift in the air that can form a spark in your love life. A stable and fulfilling connection built on trust and respect can make you fascinated with your other half. But moreover, it helps you reconnect with your true self. Seahorses mate for life. Meditate with this card when you want to strengthen your relationship with your beloved. If you are single, you can also use this card to find a companion who understands and encourages you. Be cautious not to use this card for a relationship that ignites a fire that burns everything in its way. True love does not make you second guess your honesty, loyalty, or your self-worth. Believe in the magic because it's here for you. And the affirmation for this card is, I embody love. If you are out of alignment with your authenticity, how the hell do you expect to attract the person who is meant for you? Romantically or platonically, right? Friendships, groups, or your partner. If you are going through the motions and following what you think you're supposed to follow and believing in things that don't align with your true self because that's what you think the group wants you to believe in, how are you going to find the person who compliments you the most? They're going to compliment the fake version of you, and then it's not going to feel like a true alignment. It's going to feel off, right? So the truth that is coming online this week is that when you embody your unique, authentic, raw self, the people who align with your unique, authentic, raw self will be attracted to you. And those are bonds that last because it's not based on a surface level opinion. It's not based on a fleeting, timely hobby that you have. You know, I'm not saying that you can't find long-lasting relationships in those places, but if you're going to these things and just acting like the group to fit in, and that's not really what you think or feel, you're going to find lackluster relationships. Hannah says, oh my God, 3 resonates with me so much with my current situation. Well, that's lovely. A stable and fulfilling connection built on trust and respect can make you fascinated with your other half. But moreover, it helps you reconnect with your true self. Trust and respect. We talked a lot about relationships last Friday. That's why I'm kind of stuck on this. A stable and fulfilling connection built on trust and respect. There's something, it's not coming through yet. Allison said card 1 did not compute from the back, yet a random video of a baby rhino going berserk with play to a heart wave break. He was crashing in the dirt. The video appeared last night. Interesting. Interesting, Allison. Hannah's in the early stages of a new relationship after a traumatic experience. Oh, so are you with your healing partner? I know what that's like. Are you with the person who just holds so much space and care and compassion and helps you realize that you're worthy of receiving love and support? Is that what this new relationship feels like? Trina says, wow, all 3 are perfect. I will need to rewatch this reading. Well, it will be available on my YouTube channel for you to rewatch. However, we still have one more card from one more deck. Just know that. Hannah's taking time to go within before taking any big steps toward the relationship. Hell yeah. Misty says, wow, I truly didn't have a strong feeling on any of the cards. My partner and I have been great friends for a long time, but we started to kind of entertain the idea of being in a loose relationship while he was in prison. But we're stronger together, and I've been feeling intuitively that once we were going to be able to get together once he got out. So this Mercury hiccup, like you said, is going to bring it all together, is what I understand from this collective reading. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. I'm glad that you were able to piece some things from your life together. We are going to move on and we're going to ask one more question from the Tree of Life Oracle. So the truths that are coming online this week are that your competition is for you. It's to strengthen you. And it's to utilize things that are different from you so that you can expand more and achieve more. Not achieve more, but, build a stronger presence with utilizing people who are different than you, banding together through union, through opposition. Okay, so the truth that's coming online is that those that are different from you are not scary. They're here to help you. Holding true to your willpower, what you believe is true, will spread your message, will help you walk in alignment with who you are and what you're here to do. And by doing so, by following your truth, you will attract the people that are meant for you. Maybe the people that are meant for you are these people who are so opposite that you keep fighting, but they're not here to be fought. They're here to help. Anyway, we're going to ask the Tree of Life Oracle advice for our expression of these truths. Advise us on how to express these truths. Now that Mercury is about to station direct on Sunday, it's time to get this out. It's time to share. It's time to express these truths. So give us some advice, Tree of Life Oracle. Feel free to send your energy into the Tree of Life Oracle, asking it to advise our expression of these truths. Lisa says, this reading has made me so emotional in a good way. It's triggering some inner truths for you, huh? If this reading has been beneficial for you guys, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated. You can donate right here on Insight Timer, or if you would rather use PayPal or Venmo, those links are in my Insight Timer bio. You can reach out there. I do give book dives for anyone who offers an energetic exchange. They're appreciated. And that is it. This replay will be on my YouTube channel. What else? I might do a YouTube live this afternoon with Max, my astrologer friend. I know I've been teasing about that, but Max had to go through some of his own healing work. No, I don't like that. And so he was unavailable for a few weeks. So the plan, the tentative plan, we'll see how it goes, is that we're just going to hop on and chat. And it's fun to communicate, right? So how do we express these truths that our opposition is here to strengthen us? Our willpower comes from following our inner truth, and our love comes from finding our inner truth. So maybe engaging in some opposition, if you've been afraid of engaging in some opposition, maybe engaging is what's going to get you true on your truths. Advice to express these truths. What do we do with these truths? Letitia, thank you kindly for your donation. And welcome, Melissa, just joined. Misty, yes, you're asking about the shadow period that goes this time until January 2nd. The shadow period of Mercury retrograde lasts until Mercury reaches the degree where he's stationed retrograde. So I hope that helps. Okay, there is some stuck energy. Let's start over. We're asking this deck to advise how to express these truths. Thank you. Okay. How do we express these truths? Only one card for this. And this is the 19th path of strength and lust. Defending the weak, peacekeeping, sincerity. Yes, Leo energy where Mars is retrograde. And I might mispronounce words because the Tree of Life is not fluent with me, but I like this deck. This path runs between Geburah and Chesed, and the astrological sign is Leo. Here you are confronted with your own shadow self. The stories you have told yourself, the stories of lack, of being less than. Confront them and show just how courageous and self-assured you really are. A gentle man has complete control over the lions that surround him. He needs no other strength than the energy of his own being to keep the peace. Strength isn't always about roaring. It's clear that there are conditions in your life that are no longer serving you. To make things better, you must tame the beast within or without. Your own personal myths are being confronted. The stories about how nothing will change or how others see you. All these stories are now ready to be shown the door, and you'll do it through your own strength. A bitter cup is sometimes offered in these circumstances. The first sip being the regrets and the residue of those tales you've told yourself. But as you drink deeper, it turns into a honeyed elixir. You have removed what you find distasteful, pride, self-centeredness, arrogant behavior, and found what makes life so much sweeter. You may also come to the aid of someone who needs support now, perhaps defending them or lifting them up through encouraging words and actions. The courage of a lion is legendary, so visit the part of you that is a defender of those in need and ask what you can do to help it. It may be making a donation to a cause. It may be offering your time and energy. Stand as the lion, stand in strength. So I like that. I was looking for advice for this whole thing. So whichever resonates with you more, coming to the aid of someone who needs support now, lifting them up through encouraging words or actions, or visiting the part of you that is the defender of those in need and asking what you can do to help that part of you. So if you're looking for actual action steps, I would say one of those two things, but I'm going to riff on this card for a little bit because I really like it. What I really like is that true strength is not the screaming, yelling, getting passionate, blah, 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 I'm scared, I'm screaming about this because I believe in it so much. I believe that that's necessary for you to get clear on what you believe. That can be this opposition. That can be your time to get clear on, wow, I really do stand for this because look at all these emotions that are coming out from this. You have to go through that. You have to be a warrior in some way to get to this place of calm strength. There's another deck that uses this example with the energy of the tiger, claim your power tiger. And that states, just as this man, he's not here to control the lions. He's not whipping them and using his force and trying to dominate them. He just holds this energy within himself, just as if a tiger were to walk up to you and stand in front of you. A tiger doesn't have to do shit. It's just in front of you and you're like, oh my God, this is powerful. I respect you just because you are. It's not fear. It's not intimidation. It's just you feel the presence. Calm strength. So how do we express these truths? How do we express in the combat that is supposed to be for our greatest good for union? Stand your ground. No need to get defensive and angry and teenager about it. If it comes out, it comes out. But like, that's not the energy that's going to change the world. That's the energy that's going to get you clear on what you believe. How else do we expressing willpower, expressing our willpower through this calm strength? I don't need to convince the world that everyone is good. I'm going to show you guys through my actions. I'm going to show you guys through my words that my big belief is that everybody is good. So I'm just going to be me who believes this thing. I'm just going to keep living this way and my message will be spread. I don't need to convince you of anything. And then expressing our desire to find love and connection, right? Romantic love or platonic love. You just are. You just are the stable truth that you are. You don't need to convince anyone. I'm dateable. I'm lovable. See, look at all these good things I can do for you. Look how cool I am. No one wants that energy. No one wants that energy. The people want the energy that is saying, I'm good. I'm actually getting up to some really cool things on my own. And if you want to join, you're free to. That's how you find your people. Of course, Christine asked Richter to send her lions. Oh, I love it. Hannah, sweet card. Melissa, perfect. Jen, Peacekeeper, was a card from last week too. That's right. That came from our Angels and Ancestors, I believe. Yeah. Good, Misty. Just opened my eyes and wasn't going to come. You followed your intuition. I love it. Lisa, oh my goodness. My story of what's going on at the moment's too long to write here. But if you knew, you'd know why my mind is blown from today's reading. Love it. The tiger explanation was perfect. Yeah, it's... Those who are powerful don't need to convince you that they're powerful. Those who are insecure of their status are the ones that need to convince you that they're powerful. And that's fine. That's fine. You have to go through a period of being insecure to become secure. How are you going to gain security without moving through your feelings of insecurity? Hi, Michelle. Happy to join for these few moments. Thanks, Michelle. So, yeah, go within this week. Figure out what you believe and what you want for this world. Don't be afraid of going up against some opposition. Reminder that this upcoming Monday is when we're all going to watch the Thrive documentary together. The link to join that is on my bio. Just go to my bio. I have one link, Linktree, the link to rule them all. We'll watch the Thrive documentary, and then we'll have a live Zoom call discussion afterwards. If you'd like to come join that, both links are in my bio. Documentary is free. Zoom call is a donation between $11 and $33. I also want to throw it out there about my custom astrology songs. I started playing around with birth charts and then turning them into songs. So I don't do birth chart readings anymore, but if you want a quick little dip into your astrology, there's links about that in my Linktree as well. I could do a song about your big three, sun, moon, rising, or about the chart highlights, whatever I see by looking at your general chart. And then I also have made some changes to my Patreon, which might be changing again coming up, but being a manifestor is hard. I made some changes to my Patreon, and I was offering Embody Astrology lunar events, and then it just got to be too overwhelming for me. So now I've changed my Patreon. If you would like to be a patron and just share your love and support with me, there's a tier where you can support me for $5 a month. Just saying, hey, Jacqui, I like your message. I hope you do well. There's also a Patreon tier for $10 a month where you can get all of my YouTube videos ad-free. So as I post my videos on YouTube, if you get sick of the ads coming up in the middle, $10 a month on Patreon, I repost everything there as well. So just saying. Christine, I appreciate your donation. And Inga, I appreciate your donation. Thank you so much. You guys will be getting your book dives. On Insight Timer, I comment on your donation. So that's where you can find it. Becca says, does the last card reinforce that we can bring our own strength without pleasing others? Does it look like this guy's trying to please the lions? Does it look like this guy is like, oh my God, I hope they like me. I really hope that they don't like me. No, it's this calm, quiet confidence that he's sure of who he is. And that naturally resonates with the people around you. The energy of insecurity, are they going to like me? That rubs off on people. And then people are like, oh, why do they need me to like her? Right? The energy of, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I'm here. So if you want to do what I'm doing, you can hang out. If not, cool. Have fun. Oops, Christine, that lion card came from the Tree of Life Oracle. Misty says, I do love these songs. What a fabulous little niche. It was a wave of inspiration that I had, and I'm going to follow it as long as it's here. Don't know how long I'm going to be doing this, but it's fun. I actually made one for Max, and he loved it. It was fun. Smells like confidence. Yes, confidence isn't forceful. True confidence is just truth. This is. I don't have to prove it to anyone. You can combat it, but I don't have to defend my point to you. It's true confidence. Michelle, thank you kindly for your donation. So I'll be back on, actually, I have some updates about stuff. I'll be back on Friday this week. We're going to do our Flow State Friday. What that means is that we're going to show up. I have nothing planned, and we're going to chat and see what comes out. Last week was the first time we did this. We got into a pretty deep relationship talk. It felt good, but it's what the collective needed that day. This upcoming Friday, who knows? Maybe someone will ask an astrology question that starts a discussion. Maybe someone will ask a human design question that leads us into a meditation. Maybe I'll be inspired to help us create something fun together with this Mars retrograde. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going to happen, but that's the beauty of Flow State Friday. So I like this. It's going to keep unfolding. Like, I got to get into my vibe with it as well. I feel like it's starting as like a Q&A discussion, and it might stay that way, or it might evolve into something else. Who knows? And then next week, I will absolutely for sure be back on Monday next week for our card reading for the week. However, I'm traveling on Wednesday, and I don't know what time. I'm going back to Sedona next week on a whim with a friend, and we haven't booked the flight yet. And I love this. I love this energy. I'm waiting on him to book the flight. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I love being in that energy. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to be here Wednesday or Friday next week, just saying. So we might do astrology on Monday. I don't know. And this is how I like to be, guys. I'm going to riff for two seconds, and then I do need to go. This is how I like to be. I like to be chaotic. Blah, I don't know what's going to happen. It's more fun for me. This is what feels good for my soul. However, I try to please the people who I think are following me and what I think they like, right? So I'm like, I have to be consistent, right? I'm a Taurus. I've been told I'm stubborn and consistent and predictable. And yeah, sure, I'm predictable to myself. I know I'm going to change my mind. So I'm just letting you guys know that I'm going to be leaning more into that, like, I don't know. So if that doesn't work for you, no hard feelings. Please go find a teacher who resonates with you in that consistent way, because that's not me. I can't keep that up anymore. It's draining for me. And it's fun. And I'm insecure about it. So here I am trying to prove myself to you guys. See, I'm not perfect either. I'm working through these same insecurities. But yeah, that's it. So I'm just telling you that I might be a little bit more sporadic. So have fun with it. Enjoy it, because this is authentic Jacqui. And wow, she's been buried for such a long time. Becca brought a friend. Was that to Flow State Friday last week? That's awesome. She loved it. Misty, good for you. Michelle, look at you go. Love you. Yeah, I'm here to inspire. I'm here to show you guys that you can make your life whatever you want to make it by watching me make my life what I want to make my life. And I have no shame walking you guys through the guilt that comes up and walking you guys through the hardships that come up. So that's it. Consistently inconsistent. Yep, that's me. All right, guys. So I will see you on Friday this week for Flow State Friday.